Hello and welcome to The Way Home, Crossnore Communities for Children's Facebook live show, as well as our podcast. My name is Holly Kessler, and I serve as the Senior Director of Community Relations at Crossnore. We are here every Tuesday afternoon talking with staff members at Crossnore or community partners about the work that we do, the child welfare system, ways that we're engaging in our community, and we're really glad that you're here with us. If you miss our live show, you can always rewatch on Facebook or catch the show on our YouTube channel. And the podcast comes out on Fridays on our blog, which you can find at crossnore.org. So there are plenty of ways to watch our show each week. Today, my guest is Caroline Hart. Caroline serves as Crossnore's Deputy Director and Chief External Relations Officer. She also serves as my boss and good friend. So I'm excited to welcome her here today as we talk about Giving Tuesday. So join me in welcoming Caroline to the show. Hello, friend.
Hello. Thank you, Holly. What a sweet introduction.
Well, I always like talking to you. And so now I get to talk to you on Facebook Live. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Holly, we couldn't do it without you. So thank you for all the work you do for Crossnore and also for being a great friend and colleague.
Well, you're very kind. I appreciate that. Why don't we start out by you more fully introducing yourself? Tell us about your role at Crossnore, anything else you want to share about your very busy life?
Sure. Well, I've been at Crossnore since 2014, and I am the Chief External Relations Officer and Deputy Director. And I get the privilege of working with a lot of amazing people internally and also with lots of friends and donors and community partners externally. So in more detail, I oversee our development and all of our fundraising. I oversee community relations. I oversee marketing, oversee fostering communities, and also the work we're doing in the communities, building partnerships and business development. Mm-hmm. But in addition to that, I'm also a mom of 5. And my husband and I have really busy lives outside of Crossnore. We have a 10-year-old is our youngest and a 19-year-old is our oldest. So when I'm not on the road for Crossnore, I'm usually on the road to a soccer game or basketball game or a wrestling tournament.
You know, we could do a whole show called On the Road with Caroline.
We could. It would be a comedy.
Right. I feel like a lot of times when I call you out of the blue, like we don't have a scheduled appointment or something, I just call you, you're in the car.
Oh, typically, yes.
Always in the car.
I do my car can typically drive itself because we go to all the same locations.
Right.
Every day of the week.
Yes. Well, you do an amazing job at Crossnore, and we are delighted to have you as our boss and our colleague and our friend, but especially today for you to talk with our listeners about some of the development side of what you do. Tell us, first of all, why does an organization like Crossnore need to raise money to support its services?
Sure. Well, Crossnore is a nonprofit organization. So a portion of our revenue comes from state and federal dollars, but that's only about 60% of our revenue. So revenue that comes from departments of social services, revenue that comes from Medicaid, any of that funding only covers about 60% of our annual operating budget. And so we depend on private philanthropy to cover the rest. So that's 40% of a $20 million operating budget that we depend on our friends and donors to make happen. And, you know, the government, we laugh a lot and say the government is a really horrible parent because they only pay for things, just a roof over your head, basic necessities, food, basic clothing. But, at Crossnore, we believe that kids deserve so much more than that. That's what we want for our own children and our own grandchildren, is what we want for kids that are clients at Crossnore, is we want them to experience trips. We want them to experience special holidays and birthdays, and we want them to see the beach and go horseback riding and do all the things that we want for our own children.
Yeah, and I think it's surprising sometimes for people to learn that, you think, oh, you go to the beach, especially living in North Carolina, the beach is for most of us only a few hours away. Even for you in the mountains, it's a day's drive to the beach. And so you think everybody's seen the beach, but that's not true.
That's not true. That's not
Yeah.
true. And there's something magical that happens when a child sees the ocean for the first time.
Yes. Absolutely.
One of my favorite Crossnore stories is several years ago. The entire campus on Avery County and the Avery campus went to Disney World,
Yes.
and I was not on that trip. But I was told that one of the young girls, when she got off of the bus at Disney World and she saw the castle, she turned around and looked at her cottage parents and the people that she was with and said, "This is a real place. It
Wow.
really does exist."
Yeah.
And so this is someone who's seen it in movies. They've seen pictures of the castle at Disney World. And
Hmm.
in her little mind, she had no idea that it was a real place.
Hmm.
And so those are the moments that we want for our kids and grandkids. Those
Absolutely.
wow moments, those, that innocence that we see in their little faces when they see something or experience something for the first time. And that's what we strive to do at Crossnore.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's where community support comes in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think sometimes people are surprised to think that, we do get government funding, reimbursements, and yet it only covers 60% of
Mhm.
our costs. And
Yeah.
that seems incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Crossnore, we're able to provide a different level of service
Hmm.
than other organizations. And, all of our children that come into our care have a therapist that is an employee of Crossnore. We don't outsource our therapy. All of those are Crossnore employees. And that makes us unique. Our continuum of services that we provide here for kids, all the
Hmm.
way up from, birth to youth independent living into adulthood, our college scholarship program, all of those things happen because of donations.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely like if you sort of drill down on that budget, you see we couldn't do it without that 40% that the
Right.
development team raises every year. So we're talking today on November 29th, which is known globally as Giving Tuesday. Tell us about that global generosity movement. What does Giving Tuesday mean?
Yeah, Giving Tuesday is an opportunity for the entire nation to participate in sharing generosity. It's a real movement, a radical community movement where we're all called to donate to an organization that means a lot to us, and maybe donate to multiple organizations
Mhm.
that are our top philanthropic priorities. But it's this one day out of the year where we all hold hands as a you know global
Mhm.
community, and we
Mhm.
give back, and we participate in what I like to call radical generosity.
Yeah, yeah. And how long has Crossnore participated in Giving Tuesday?
Gosh, it's been over 5 years. I'm not sure exactly the exact time frame, but we've been participating in over 5 years, and we've had such success on Giving Tuesday. Our donors are incredibly generous
Yes.
throughout the year, but it's been fun on Giving Tuesday when we have this extra special push. It's really fun to watch those donations come in,
Mhm. Mhm.
and to watch all those online donations, pile up, and that's fun. That creates some real excitement in the office.
It really does, and you mentioned online because most of this is done through our social media, through our
Mhm.
e-newsletter, so and what we are soliciting this day is online donations. Now, we do have some donors that'll, maybe call us and say, "Hey, I'm sending you a check for Giving Tuesday," but probably 95% of the money comes in online.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does come in online.
Mhm.
And, like you said, you can send a check, and we just ask when you do that to put in the memo line Giving Tuesday, because we want to make sure we give you credit for our Giving Tuesday goal.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of the gifts do come in. Most of the gifts come in online.
Yeah, they do. And you said we want to make sure everybody, gets credit for that, but we also want to make sure we count it in our goal because we do have a goal, right?
Yep.
So what is our goal for this year?
So our Giving Tuesday goal is we hope to raise $40,000 in one day on
Mhm.
Giving Tuesday. And I am excited to share that this year we do have a $20,000 challenge from the Perkinson family in Augusta, Georgia. They are going to give us $20,000 if we can raise $20,000. So we're halfway there already, and
Mhm.
we feel for sure that we're going to be able to raise the other 20,000.
Yes, as you mentioned, the generosity of our donors. I think the first year we did Giving Tuesday, our goal was not this high, and we were so excited that we actually hit it. And
Mhm.
then each succeeding year, we've been able to increase that goal and have hit that goal every year. So it is a really, really exciting day.
And it's
Um,
fun because we've had for the past couple years, we've either gotten a phone call or an email from someone that says,
mhm.
"Hey, if you don't reach your goal, let me know and I'll make up the difference."
Oh, wow.
And that is true generosity. So,
Absolutely.
they're willing to give us 5,000 or 10,000 or $200,
Right.
just depending to get us to our goal.
Yeah.
And that's fun and takes a lot of pressure off when okay, at the end of the day, I do have someone who's going to come in and wrap it up for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that we do in our Giving Tuesday goal each year is to set sort of a specific way the money is going to be used because people often do like to know specifically how will my gift be
Mhm.
used. So how are the funds for this year's Giving Tuesday goal? What are those going to go to?
Sure. This year's Giving Tuesday, the $40,000 will go to our Bridge Scholarship Program. And Bridge Scholarships are given to students. Um, the reality is, all of the students that we serve are eligible for a Bridge Scholarship because,
Mhm.
again, just remember what I said, you know, the reimbursements we get from the state, counties, and federal reimbursements don't cover what it costs to do the work we do. So, for example, if a child lives on one of our campuses, either in one of our cottages in Winston-Salem or on the Avery campus, it costs a little over $6,000 per month per child to
Mhm.
provide the care and the hope and healing that we provide those children.
Wow.
And so reimbursements only make up about $4,500 of that. So
Mhm.
there is a gap. Every child, there's about a $1,500 gap, a little more than $1,500 every month for every child that lives on campus. So
Mhm.
Bridge scholarships help cover that gap. And that's why we call it Bridge, because it
Yeah.
helps bridge the gap for children that are living in one of our cottages.
Okay. And what does that money, you talk about what it costs to raise a child. What $6,000 is a lot of money. So
Mhm.
what does that really cover for a child at Crossnorm?
Yeah, so that covers certainly living in a cottage, and
Mhm.
also the cottage parents that live with
Mhm.
those children. These are professionals who are paid by Crossnore, who are trauma informed, trained in
Mhm.
sanctuary, which is our model of care, and they are trained to handle any sort of traumatic situations that happen in the cottage. So these professionals are highly trained individuals to live
Mhm.
with up to 9 kids per cottage. And
Wow.
so a cottage parent lives with children 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. But how our model works is you live 7 days and then you're off 7 days. So another set of cottage parents come in for 7 days. So it's a 7 day
Mhm.
on shift, 7 day off shift. And so part of that 6,000 is being able to pay these highly trained professionals and
Mhm.
all the training that goes into um, getting these professionals up and running to support the kids in all the ways that they support the kids.
Mhm.
It also covers all of our case managers. So all of our
Mhm.
children are assigned a professional that is a Crossnore employee that helps them maneuver through the system, really. It helps them work with their social worker. It helps them work with their therapist. It helps them work with their cottage parent. So it's really their advocate, the person that's really helping them figure out. Because when you're 5 years old, you have no idea when your
No.
next court date might be, or you have no idea, who's on your side rooting for you and helping you maneuver this really tough social services system. And so our case managers help do that.
Or even when you need to go to the dentist.
Right. Yeah. You need to go to the dentist or the doctor's office, or any appointment that you may have. And then of course all the fun things too. So all of our trips, we just some kids just went to the Barter Theater over in Virginia to see a play. That's what makes up that $6,000, or all the extra things we do. And I have 5 children, and they all, have hopes and dreams around sort of, it's getting to be the holiday season. So they're all making their gift list. And my kids, have Nike tennis shoes or Adidas tennis shoes. And the kids that we serve, they also want Nike tennis shoes, and they also want Adidas tennis shoes. And so that $6,000 also provides an opportunity for us to buy them a pair of Nike sneakers, or a pair of Adidas sneakers, or a Nike sweatshirt that's so popular now. Not just something that we pick up, from a thrift store, or not something that we pick up at our local, Family Dollar or something like that. It does provide things that kids want.
Absolutely. And kids eat a lot of food. It takes a lot. When you got 9 kids living in a house,
A lot of food.
It's a lot of food, isn't it? Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, how can somebody support? We talked about online giving, but how can somebody support our Giving Tuesday effort? Where can they find that online? And if they don't want to give online, what can they do?
Yeah, so you can certainly give online by going to our website. And there's a big button that you can press that says donate now, and you can donate now. All gifts that come in online on Giving Tuesday will count towards our Giving Tuesday goal. So if you feel comfortable making an online gift, it is completely secure. Our site is completely secure. You can make a safe online gift. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can always mail us a check. And in that memo line, just put Giving Tuesday, and we will count it towards the goal. And if you just want to call us and give us, if you want to give us your credit card over the phone, you can do that. Or you can even make a pledge and say, hey, I'm going to pledge, $100 today on Giving Tuesday. Will you send me a reminder? And we'd be happy to stick a reminder in the mail to you with an envelope, and you can send that gift back in that envelope.
That is awesome. Lots and lots of ways that folks can give. And you mentioned the time of year also. Our it's being Christmas, our Amazon wish list is up, and so we'll put a link in the show notes to that as well if folks want to check that out and want to send in a gift. The Amazon wish list is all gifts that children have chosen, and so it will go to a specific child. So there really are lots of ways for folks to help, both today to help us meet this $40,000 goal, but also year round, especially at Christmas time, but also year round. And I appreciate you mentioning that online giving is safe. I know that, some folks are a little wary about that, but our site is very safe. It's very secure. The credit card processor we work with is very secure. So people don't need to worry about that by giving online on our site.
No, they don't. We, I feel really comfortable sending people to our website to donate online. I feel it's very secure.
I think so too. Well, Giving Tuesday is an exciting day. If you guys want to know how we did, certainly continue to watch our social media. But also we have an e-newsletter, and we'll put a link in the show notes to that as well. You can sign up for our e-newsletter, and then you'll get a special email about whether or not we met our goal. But hopefully, as the hours count down today, we will know soon, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I'm anxiously awaiting. I like to get updates throughout the day.
Right.
So,
Right.
like lunchtime, I ask for an update. Mid-afternoon, I ask for an update. And then usually around bedtime, we'll get another update because gifts are still coming in
Yeah.
into the night. So,
They sure will.
yeah,
Yeah, they'll come in right on up till 11 and 12 o'clock at night.
that's
So
right.
that's exciting. Well, Caroline, thank you so much for being here with us today and for talking about Giving Tuesday and telling us a little bit more about the development side of Crossnore. I appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you. And I thank you for having me. And thank you to all the donors and friends out there that are watching and people that love and care about Crossnore. You make this place possible, and you make hope and healing possible for so many children in North Carolina. And if you want to learn more about the work we do, please always go to our website, like us on social media, join our newsletter, and come for a tour. We'd love to
Yeah.
show you around.
Yeah, that's a great idea too. We'd love to give you a tour. Well, thank you guys for listening today. As I've thanked our guest, I appreciate you being here as well, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're listening to our podcast. We really appreciate the opportunity to tell you about Crossnore. We appreciate your interest and support. For more information, as Caroline said, please visit our website at crossnore.org or follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. That's it for today, but I hope you will join us again next week on the way home.